when synchronicity happens, so Jung spoke to this, and he said when it happens, it's like a dream, and we can analyze it in the same way that we can dream material. We can ask it questions, we can explore different outcomes from it, we can look at the symbols that are there and analyze those symbols, and we can essentially sort of get the message that's obviously inherent in this synchronistic sort of event. So synchronicity was one of the things he spoke to. Something else that he talked about was personality theory. So Jung said that there are 16 personality types. Has anyone ever done the Myers-Briggs test? Yeah. So Myers-Briggs is based on Jungian personality theory, and Kathleen Briggs and her partner actually created that test to identify what your personality type is. So there is introversion versus extroversion. That's sort of the very primary differences of what will separate us. So an introvert is someone who draws energy from being alone. So if you know if you're an introvert when you feel like you just had already too much of people. Like it can feel, for an introvert, parties or being around crowds or being around a lot of people can be actually rather tiring and rather exhausting. An introvert are often very good public speakers, ironically, because an introvert has a tendency to be somewhat negative. Like an extrovert are terrified of public speaking because they're energized by being around other people. And so they care very much about what other people think, right? Because they need them to feel good and to feel optimistic and to feel happy, actually. An extrovert must be around other people to do that. So one of the ways that you know whether you're an introvert or extrovert is what do you do when you're feeling kind of down? Do you call a friend? Do you go downtown and walk around and be around other people? Or do you withdraw from people and go and read a book, or go and have a bath, or kind of withdraw into yourself? So what do you do under stress or when you're feeling kind of down? That's one way. And so what I was saying about public speaking, an extrovert is often will have real phobias actually about talking in front of large groups of people, because an extrovert too believes that they can make people like them. They actually believe that, and they'll try that because they like people. They need that energy from other people. Whereas an introvert has no hope of that. They really don't believe that anybody's going to like them. So they don't even try, really, and they don't feel compelled to have to try and get that approval. So they're quite good, actually, in front of people. That's one of the differences. So you see optimism versus sort of pessimism. You often see in couples an introvert being attracted to an extrovert. Often see, and an introvert will say to the extrovert, "You like everybody the same. Like, do you really think I'm special? Like, it seems like all your friends and everybody in your life is so important. Aren't I important to you?" And of course, from the extrovert's perspective, looking at the introvert, they don't be such a stick in the mud. Like, don't you ever want to go out? Don't you want to be with people? Don't you want to do things? You're such a slug, right? So, and this is where often there's that kind of differences and conflicts can erupt between an introvert. They often never understand each other. So the introvert and the extroversion are very, very different. It's one of the definitions one of the ways in which personality types differ.